Hey everyone, if you watched Crown Jewel, I mean, are you still reeling from that ending? Roman Reigns losing
I know.
to Solo Sikoa, no less.
Okay.
So we are going to deep dive into this today, try to make sense of it.
Absolutely.
We found this wrestling podcast. They had some really good analysis, so we're going to be using them as our main source.
Yeah, they make a great point right off the bat. To really understand what happened, we need to look at the whole bloodline situation.
Okay. For those who don't know...
The bloodline. Roman Reigns' family, basically. Huge powerhouse faction in WWE.
Right. Roman's the tribal chief.
Exactly.
And he's been champion for what feels like forever.
Years, yeah.
And Solo's his younger cousin who's been climbing the ranks.
Yep.
So Roman's been dominant. But the podcast pointed out, things haven't been exactly peaceful in the bloodline.
Oh, no. There have been cracks showing for a while now.
Right. Like with the Usos
Exactly.
rebelling against Roman.
Yeah, Jimmy and G.
And then you've got Solo getting these huge wins, turning into a star.
Right.
So the podcast theory is all this drama kind of all boiled over at Crown Jewel.
That's their argument. It wasn't just about the title. This was family drama, years in the making.
Right. So it wasn't just about winning a belt.
Yeah. It was personal.
Okay, so how did that play out in the match itself?
Well, one thing the podcast pointed out, Roman didn't seem like himself.
Really? Because usually he's just so confident.
Right. He's got that untouchable aura.
Yeah.
But at Crown Jewel, it was like he was, I don't know, almost hesitant.
Hesitant.
How so? Would they give this example? Where he goes for his Superman punch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, his signature
That's
move. It's like he telegraphs it.
Like he's not fully committed.
Exactly. Almost like he doubted himself. And then when Solo countered with the Samoan Spike.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, just jams his thumb right into Roman's throat. In Roman's face. You can see the shock.
Wow. So you're saying this wasn't just a lucky win for Solo.
No way. This was Solo sensing weakness and taking advantage.
Wow.
And the crowd went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I bet.
The podcast actually played a clip. It was deafening. The place erupted when Solo pinned him after that huge splash from the top rope.
Okay, so picture this. You're at Crown Jewel. The energy is crazy.
Yeah.
And bam. Solo's the new champ.
Right.
What's going through everyone's minds.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the Usos? They've been feuding with Roman. What was their reaction?
Oh, the podcast analyzes their faces, especially Jimmy. He's got this smirk.
Like a knowing smirk.
Yes, like he was in on it the whole time.
Whoa. Are we thinking conspiracy theory already?
It makes you wonder, right? Did they help orchestrate Roman's downfall?
Okay, but hold on. What about Paul Heyman, Roman's wise man?
Oh, yeah.
He's always been there for Roman, this brilliant strategist.
Right.
Always knows how to play the game. What was his reaction?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The podcast describes him as looking conflicted.
Really?
Like he was trying to figure out what this means. For him?
Well, yeah, because Heyman's always been so good at knowing which way the wind is blowing. So could he be sensing a power shift towards Solo.
That's what the podcast suggests. Maybe Heyman's already thinking about switching sides.
Wait, hold on. Are we saying Paul Heyman, Roman's right-hand man for years, might be about to jump ship?
It's a real possibility. And you know what they say? Where Heyman goes, power follows. I mean, this changes everything. It's like a total power vacuum now.
Right. I mean, where does Roman even go from here? His whole thing is being the head of the table, the undisputed champ.
Exactly.
This has got to be a huge blow to his ego.
The podcast talks about a couple different paths Roman could take now.
Okay.
One option, he just goes full on.
Yeah.
Dark side.
Like, even more ruthless than before.
Yeah. Like, he loses it, becomes desperate to get back on top.
So basically, we see a side of Roman we've never seen before.
Exactly. A real break bad moment.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, he's already shown he can be pretty brutal.
Right.
So.
But here's a wild thought. What if this is the start of a redemption arc for Roman?
A redemption arc.
Yeah. Like this loss forces him to look in the mirror, confront his flaws. He comes back. A more humble character.
Boy, a humble Roman Reigns. I don't know about that.
I know.
That kind of goes against everything he's built.
It would be a huge change.
But I guess I could see the potential. It would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, imagine. This humbled Roman, stripped of his invincibility, having to rebuild himself.
Yeah, it could be a pretty compelling story.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about Solo. He's the new champ. But is he ready to be the leader of the bloodline?
That's the big question. He's got the power now, but does he have the leadership skills? The podcast makes some interesting points about this.
Oh, okay, like what?
Well, they say Solo's pretty inexperienced,
Yeah, that's true.
and that could lead to some problems, especially with the Usos still around.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
They've already defied Roman. What's to stop them from turning on Solo, too?
Right, if they think they can take him.
And then there's the Paul Heyman factor.
Yeah. The wise man.
If Heyman decides to back Solo, that could give him a huge advantage.
True. He could help Solo navigate all the drama, all the politics.
Exactly.
So it sounds like Solo's got this huge opportunity,
Yeah.
but it comes with a lot of pressure
Yeah.
and a lot of potential for things to go wrong.
Definitely. He's walking a tightrope.
And it's not just about the bloodline.
Right.
This whole thing, it could shake up the entire WWE.
The podcast called it a game changer.
Yeah. I'm starting to see
We're
why.
entering a whole new era in WWE.
It's crazy to think how long Roman's been on top. It's almost hard to remember what WWE was like before him.
I know, right? He's been such a force. In the ring and out
Yeah, the bloodline's been everywhere, in every storyline.
for years.
So that's why. This crown jewel thing, it's such a big deal. The podcast talked about this too, how it could be huge for other wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. They said Roman being champ, it's kind of stifled the competition.
Oh, so.
Well, think about it. How many guys have been stuck in the mid-card?
Oh, yeah. Like they can't break through.
Because Roman's always there.
At the top.
Right. He's like the final boss that no one can beat.
But now, the door's wide open.
Exactly.
So who's going to step up? You got guys like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, maybe even Cody Rhodes
Oh, yeah.
gets another shot.
This is what's so exciting. It reminds me of when CM Punk broke that record.
Oh, yeah.
434 days.
Everyone thought that would last forever.
And then bam.
Yeah.
The whole landscape of WWE changed.
Man, that was wild.
This feels like that. A real game changer.
So the question is, who's going to be the next breakout star?
Right.
Who's going to seize the moment?
And it's not just about individuals. We could see new factions.
Oh, yeah.
Old alliances coming back together. Maybe even new championships.
Wow. It really is like someone hit the reset button
Yeah.
on the whole WWE.
It's a whole new era.
So to our listeners out there, what do you think happens next? Will Solo hold on to the bloodline? Or will it all fall apart?
Will Roman try to claw his way back to the top?
Or will someone completely new take over?
We've seen crazier things happen in WWE.
That's for sure.
The one thing we know, things will never be the same.
This is just the beginning. This roller coaster. Buckle up. There's going to be some wild twists and turns.
This story is far from over.
And remember, everyone,
Sometimes the best stories aren't about winning or losing.
it's about the journey.
Exactly.
The evolution of the characters.
Well said. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We'll be back soon with more fascinating topics. But until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, keep diving deep